Your driver's license could be unexpectedly suspended in 2026, even if your driving record is completely clean, with no accidents or citations. The truly surprising part, this wouldn't happen due to poor driving behavior. Instead, it would result from an administrative glitch, an overlooked piece of correspondence, or a computer-generated flag you never anticipated. My goal here is to provide you with DMV updates and driving regulation changes based strictly on verified information from state transportation departments and official legislative documents. No sensationalism, just accurate information. Today, I'm examining 5 major modifications taking effect in 2026. I won't begin with the predictable ones, though. I'm leading with the change currently surprising the highest number of motorists across all age groups. After that, I'll reveal the regulations specifically affecting senior drivers. When we're finished, you'll understand precisely how to safeguard your driving privileges. First, though, you need to grasp why these changes are happening right now. The reasoning differs from common assumptions. 3 significant factors are converging, fundamentally transforming how DMVs function. First factor, approximately 70 million Americans are reaching retirement age. By 2030, every baby boomer generation member will be 65 or older, making mature drivers the most rapidly expanding demographic on America's roads. Second factor, and this matters tremendously, DMV systems have become completely automated. Insurance company databases, traffic enforcement cameras, and driving records now share information instantly. This enables same-day enforcement actions without any human intervention or oversight. Third factor, insurance companies are paying substantially more for accident claims. States are responding by implementing stricter monitoring and automated consequences, not just public awareness initiatives. The practical effect for you is straightforward. Mistakes are no longer tolerated. 2 decades ago, an error would generate a reminder followed by another reminder, possibly even a personal phone call. Today you receive exactly 1 notification. Fail to respond, and the system automatically imposes penalties. No person examines your situation. Nobody considers your decades of safe driving. The computer simply registers an unmet deadline and proceeds without considering your circumstances. This brings me to the first change, currently affecting more motorists than any other regulation on this list. Numerous states now continuously track insurance coverage through electronic verification systems. If your protection lapses, even temporarily, consequences happen automatically. You might think, I've maintained coverage with the same provider for 20 years. This doesn't affect me. But here's what's actually happening to countless responsible drivers at this moment. Your automatic insurance payment fails because your credit card reached its expiration date and you forgot to update the information. Payment confirmation notices go to an outdated email address you rarely check. Within 48 hours, the DMV's computer system flags your vehicle. Registration suspended. They send a notification through regular mail, but by the time you discover it, the suspension is already in effect. You're not legally permitted to drive until you reinstate your coverage, pay reactivation fees, and restore your registration. If law enforcement stops you during this period, your vehicle gets impounded. You'll face towing expenses, storage fees, and increased insurance premiums because your record now shows a suspension. 10 years ago, you might drive without insurance for weeks before anyone noticed. Today, when your coverage ends, the DMV learns about it within 48 hours. Consequences include registration suspension, fines between $100 and $500, reactivation charges, and in certain states, license suspension. So, here's what you should do immediately. First, set up autopay with a secondary payment option. Connect your insurance premium payments directly to your bank account rather than a credit card that eventually expires. Second, verify your coverage status every month. Access your insurance provider's online portal or contact your agent monthly to confirm your policy remains active. Third, prevent any coverage gaps when changing carriers. When switching companies, arrange for the new policy to begin one day before the previous one ends, not the day afterward. Even a single uncovered day can trigger suspension in several states. Fourth, keep your contact information current. Verify both the DMV and your insurance company have your correct email and physical address. Now that covered automated insurance enforcement. However, the second change proves even more unexpected because it involves someone you completely trust, your personal physician. Here's something many drivers don't realize. Healthcare providers can report medical conditions affecting driving ability to the DMV. In certain states, they're legally obligated to do so. States with mandatory physician reporting requirements include California, Delaware, New Jersey, Nevada, Oregon, and Pennsylvania. Medical conditions frequently reported include diminished eyesight, seizure disorders, significant cognitive deterioration, episodes of unconsciousness, and poorly managed diabetes. Before you become alarmed, let me explain exactly what happens when such a report is filed. Imagine you're 70 years old and managing diabetes. Your physician submits a standard report because your recent blood glucose test indicated poor control, a condition that can impact visual acuity and response time. The DMV then mails you a notice requesting completion of a medical questionnaire and a vision examination. You're occupied with daily life. You think, my driving is perfectly fine. I'll get to this when I have time. 30 days elapse. The DMV then administratively suspends your license without any additional warning. 1 week later, you're stopped by law enforcement for failing to come to a complete stop at a sign. Suddenly, you're operating a vehicle with a suspended license, an action classified as a criminal violation. In most jurisdictions, you're facing minimum fines of $500, plus court expenses, license restoration fees, and potentially incarceration, all stemming from an unanswered single piece of mail. This doesn't mean your physician is attempting to revoke your driving privileges. It means the DMV may require medical verification, a driving assessment, or temporary supervision to confirm your ability to operate a vehicle safely. However, the critical point is this: failure to respond results in automatic license suspension. So, what action should you take? If you have any medical condition potentially affecting your driving capabilities, discuss this with your physician proactively. Ask them directly, does this condition require reporting in our state? What steps should I take to remain in compliance if you receive DMV correspondence regarding a fitness determination? Respond promptly. Gather the required medical documentation. Complete all necessary paperwork and submit everything prior to the deadline. Disregarding the notice guarantees suspension, taking proactive measures can prevent suspension entirely. Now, the first two modifications can impact anyone, but this next regulation specifically addresses a particular age demographic. If you belong to that demographic, the requirements have changed substantially. For drivers aged 65 and older, license renewal is no longer automatic in most jurisdictions. Illinois requires drivers 75 and above to appear personally for renewal and successfully complete an eye examination. California prohibits drivers 70 and older from utilizing online or mail renewal options. Iowa now requires drivers 72 and older to renew biennially instead of every 5 years. Online renewal has been eliminated for senior drivers in numerous states. Mail renewal faces similar restrictions. Here's the situation catching many people unprepared. Suppose you're 72 years old. Your license expires in half a year. You attempt online renewal, the method you used 5 years previously. The computer system rejects your application due to age-based requirements. You were unaware that personal appearance was necessary. So you visit the DMV and undergo the vision screening. The lighting is inadequate. You feel anxious. Your performance is marginally subpar. The examiner then mandates additional evaluation. Now you're dealing with temporary restrictions such as driving only during daylight hours, completing medical paperwork, and experiencing renewal delays. Your license receives a 90-day extension with limitations while you complete the assessment process. This scenario is currently occurring across multiple states. Now, failing a vision examination doesn't necessarily end your driving permanently. It might necessitate corrective lenses, impose driving restrictions, or require follow-up testing. The objective is public safety, not punishment. However, here's your required action. Pause this video right now. Locate your driver's license. Examine the expiration date. If it shows 2026, immediately visit your state's DMV website and research renewal requirements specific to your age group. Document exactly what's necessary. Establish a calendar notification for 60 days before your expiration date. If you use prescription eyewear, schedule an optometric examination now. Don't wait until the DMV mandates it. We've now examined automated insurance enforcement, physician reporting obligations, and modified renewal procedures for senior drivers. However, this fourth modification is surprising drivers while they wait at traffic signals in parking areas, even when they believe they're acting responsibly. Distracted driving regulations now extend far beyond texting prohibitions. Current laws now encompass holding your mobile device, viewing notifications while stopped at red lights, browsing music selections, or manipulating GPS applications while the vehicle is operational, and any form of application interaction. What astonishes most motorists is this. In numerous jurisdictions, if your engine is operational, even with the vehicle completely stationary, contacting your phone constitutes a violation. Penalties are increasing rapidly. An initial violation results in fines between $100 and $250. A subsequent offence brings fines of $500 or higher, accompanied by points added to your driving record. A third violation can trigger licence suspension. Furthermore, if you're involved in an accident while distracted, even a minor incident, certain states may charge you with reckless driving, which carries criminal penalties. Allow me to illustrate a scenario. You're travelling to a medical appointment. Your phone rings without conscious thought. You reach for it. A law enforcement officer observes this and initiates a traffic stop. This represents your second violation within 2 years. You receive a $400 fine and 2 points on your record. Your insurance carrier receives notification. Your premium increases by 25 to 30%. 6 months afterward, you're adjusting your navigation system at a traffic signal. The light changes to green. You're still glancing downward. You creep forward and contact the vehicle in front of you. Nobody sustains injuries, but due to your distracted state, you're determined to be at fault. Your insurance provider raises your rates again. Your annual premium has climbed from $2,200 to approximately $2,800. You're now one violation away from losing your driving privileges entirely. Consequently, here's the guideline that will maintain both your safety and legal compliance. If your vehicle is operational, do not touch your phone under any circumstances. Configure your navigation before beginning your journey. Utilize voice-activated features when your vehicle supports them. If you absolutely must, or you cannot attend to your device, find a secure location to stop, shift into park, and only then access your phone. This represents the sole method of maintaining compliance. Now, all four preceding modifications carry serious implications. However, this fifth change connects them all and demonstrates why minor oversights now produce significant repercussions. The financial impact of violations has transformed completely. Historically, a suspended license simply meant paying a restoration charge. Currently, it triggers elevated insurance premiums continuing for 3 to 5 years, mandatory SR22 filing. A financial responsibility certification that potentially doubles your coverage costs, accumulated points affecting your driver profile, and complications when renting vehicles or seeking inclusion on another person's policy. Here's what many individuals fail to recognize. Once the system flags you, that flag remains permanently. A medical review appears on your record, an insurance coverage gap appears on your record, a distracted driving citation appears on your record. This information follows you indefinitely and continuously influences your insurance premiums. This represents the fundamental transformation drivers must comprehend. Automation creates efficiency, but simultaneously eliminates leniency. No human examines your circumstances and considers your 5 decades of violation-free driving. The computer simply registers an unmet requirement and imposes the corresponding penalty. State agencies are attempting to manage millions of drivers with constrained personnel and budgets. Automation provides their solution. However, when you combine this with heightened enforcement, instantaneous data exchange, and novel requirements for aging drivers, the probability of accidental violations increases substantially. So, allow me to provide an action plan protecting you from all 5 of these modifications. I'll outline 7 specific steps you can implement this week. First, verify your license status. Take out your license immediately. Examine the expiration date. If it indicates 2026, visit your state's DMV website today and research renewal requirements. Establish a calendar notification for 60 days prior to your expiration date. Never assume your renewal process will mirror your previous experience. Second, arrange vision and medical assessments well in advance. If you require corrective lenses, schedule an optometric examination immediately. If you manage any medical condition, discuss it with your physician before receiving DMV correspondence. Taking initiative provides you adequate time to resolve potential concerns without deadline pressure. Third, examine your insurance payment arrangements. Access your insurance provider's online portal. Verify your policy remains active and your payment information remains current. Transition to bank autopay if you're currently using a credit card. Credit cards inevitably expire. Bank accounts do not. Fourth, familiarize yourself with your state's distracted driving regulations. Visit your DMV website, search for distracted driving provisions, and understand precisely what activities are prohibited. Some jurisdictions ban all handheld device usage. Others restrict only texting. Certain states include stops at traffic signals within the prohibition. Others exclude them. Don't rely on assumptions. Verify. Fifth, update your contact information with the DMV. Confirm they have your correct mailing address, email address, and telephone number. Suspension notifications typically arrive via postal mail initially. If they possess outdated address information, you won't receive the notice, yet the suspension will still take effect. Sixth, establish automatic payments and reminder systems. Utilize autopay for insurance premiums and registration fees. Create calendar alerts for 30 days preceding every important deadline. Most mobile devices allow recurring reminder setup, enabling annual license renewal reminders, semi-annual registration reminders, and monthly insurance status verification prompts. Seventh, maintain documentation of everything. Retain your license renewal confirmation. Preserve your insurance declaration pages. Keep any DMV correspondence you receive. create a physical folder in your vehicle and a digital folder on your mobile device. Should any dispute arise, having proper documentation represents your sole protection. These regulations aren't designed to strip away your autonomy. They're structured to ensure all roadway users can operate vehicles safely. Here are the 3 essential points you must retain from this presentation. First, automated systems impose penalties immediately. Leniency periods have been eliminated. You won't receive multiple warnings. You won't receive telephone calls. You receive one notification, and if you fail to respond, the system proceeds without you. Second, if you're 65 or older, renewal procedures have been modified. Verify your state's requirements before your expiration date arrives. Don't attempt online renewal only to discover at the last moment that personal appearance is mandatory. Third, minor oversights now generate substantial consequences. A missed renewal deadline, an insurance payment interruption, or a distracted driving violation can trigger suspensions, elevated insurance premiums, and legal complications requiring months to resolve. Advanced preparation represents your only safeguard. Driving represents independence. It represents your ability to visit family members, attend medical appointments, and maintain your lifestyle according to your preferences. Staying informed represents how you protect that independence. If this information proved valuable, subscribe Senior USA Guide and activate notifications to receive future DMV updates. We cover licensing modifications, insurance enforcement, and traffic regulations without sensationalism. Leave a comment indicating your state, and I'll direct you towards specific applicable regulations. If you know someone approaching license renewal, whether a parent, neighbor, or friend, share this presentation. The more informed individuals on our roads, the safer our entire community becomes. Thank you for watching. Remain informed.